Okay, welcome to Bitrix24 Live. I'm Damien Edwards, Commercial Manager of Bitrix24 Gold Partners Interface. We're based in the UK and we have offices in the US and the UAE. And we provide, Bitrix Partners, we provide all associated services. So we can provide a demo of the system. We offer a full implementation service. We provide training on-site or online, and we provide telephone support as well. So for any edition of Bitrix, cloud or self-hosted. With me, I have our support manager, who is Andy Naylor.
Hi there. So we're going to be here for the next hour answering your questions on anything related to Bitrix24. So if you're using the cloud product or you're using the on-premise product, then you can ask us away. We have both systems up and running and ready to show you on the screen. Please do ask your questions as the session goes along. You can put them in the box on YouTube and we can answer them as they come in. We usually do start each session with questions that have come to us from emails during the week. And if you do have any questions throughout the week, do send them to sales@interface.com and we can pick those up and schedule them in for the start of the next live session. So we are here every Thursday at 10 AM Eastern Time for approximately an hour, as long as we get the questions as we go along. And like I say, we can answer those in today's session.
Yeah, so we've got a question about extranet users. How do I invite extranet users into one of my projects? So we'll look at that. So the first thing to do is to make sure that your project is an extranet project. So if we go to work groups, so where you set your projects up as work groups, if we click on here to add, then you can see that you have open work group, private work group, and extranet work group. So you have work groups across the top, projects across the bottom. They're very similar. Essentially, the main difference is that a project will have a start and an end date, and you can report on whether a project has gone beyond its end date or its deadline date. But to invite people into a project, then it needs to be an extranet project. So you need to click on this one. I think you can change a standard work group to an extranet work group. Let's just go and check that if you haven't. So if you go into actions, edit work group, you should be able to change that. Okay, so down here you could make it available on the extranet. So if you tick that, then your work group will be, make sure that's ticked. If it's already ticked, that's great. Otherwise you can tick it and change that to an extranet work group, and then it will be available for you to invite extranet users in. Let's just go into one of our extranet. They are grouped differently, separately. You have your extranet list here, and if I go into this one, so extranet work groups are used for projects where you want to invite your clients in. Sometimes businesses, some of our clients use them as a client group for their customers. So you have one for each individual customer. But essentially, to invite them in, actions, invite to project, and add extranet user. You've got two ways of doing it. If I add an extranet user, it will show all the extranet users that are registered on our system. In this case, we have one here. Or you can invite them by email. They'll get a link which they'll click on, and I think they self-register. Then from there, they'll put their name and username. I think they'll create their own password as well.
Yeah, you can do it a slightly different way, can't you, as well? If you go into the employees section here, and then if we go to the find employee, click on invite users, and you can see here we can do it if we want to register their email, first name, last name, and instead of where it says employee, click on external user, and then you find the work group that you want to add them to. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. This way's good because it does half the work for them, and then you click on send. I would need to fill it in. Then you click on this checkbox here, and it will send their details.
Yeah, I think that's quite good if you're on the cloud, because otherwise your extranet, your customer is going to get an email, a Bitrix24 branded email, and probably be wondering what exactly it is. If you're on, so you can register them for them, and then you can share the login details however you want to. If you're on the self-hosted, then those sort of invite emails can all be branded up yourself with your own information, so it's a little bit different. There is a third way of doing this. If we go into the CRM, and again, you'd need I'm pretty sure you'd need a self-hosted to do this, but say that you have a contact in your CRM that you want to invite into a project. We set up a process. We set up a process called we called it Make Live User. And essentially when I click this process, it will convert this CRM entity into a user of the system. Separate things, create them as a user of the system. It triggers an email to them, and it automatically generates a username and password. And so it doesn't add them to a project group, although it could do. I mean, in this case, it just creates them as a user in the system. So yeah, that's quite good, because using a process means that everything happens in a structured manner, the correct way. The part that's linked to that is if I go into the company that's associated. If I go into the company that's linked to that. And then I've got a here called create project. So in fact, you would probably create the project from this link first. In this case, we've got a few questions on a form. You don't have to have this. That creates the work group or the project group. And then when you've done that, when you've created the group, you can then invite your user in, and they'll automatically get added to that group that's been created because the two are associated already. So there's different ways of doing that. Yeah, lots of different ways of doing it. It's all about making it, faster for improving the speed for your users. If you're using a process, you not only do you improve the speed, but you make it kind of error-free. So using a process is quite good.
Yeah, I had a question come in just with regards to what social network integration is available on Bitrix. And you can see on the screen we have currently Instagram and Facebook are the two main social networks that we integrate with. It's very easy, as long as you're a page admin on your Facebook page, for your business Facebook page, or you are the owner of your Instagram business account, you can integrate those with Bitrix. The main purpose is that when somebody goes to your business page on Facebook and they send you a private message, then you will get it through your open channel widget here, and I'll show you that in a moment. I'll log on to Facebook. And also, if you put a post on your Facebook page, your business page, then if somebody writes a comment on that particular post, again, that will feed in to the open channels widget here, and you will be able to reply directly from within Bitrix. And that's the same with your Instagram business account. If you put your picture up on Instagram, you do a post out, somebody writes a comment on that Instagram post, you can reply directly to that comment from within Bitrix. So you don't need to be in those social networks managing the messages and the posts and the comments on your posts. Instead, all you do is you would reply on here. So I'll give you an example. If we just log into Facebook on here as on our demo account, and then if we just let that load up, and then if we go into, I think we've already have some messages with interface here, so let me just go directly to our page. So this is the interface Facebook business page, and you can see I've had a previous conversation before, but let's just say that this is brand new. I click on hello, hit on enter, and then in a moment you'll see it pop up inside the Bitrix site. So if I just click on here, may need to refresh, unless it's been disconnected. Let me just check in here. I think it will come through. I'll need to check if it is connected in here. But what in essence what you need to do, you'll need to communicate from Bitrix itself, so through the live chat widget on here, and you can have a direct conversation with the user while they are on Facebook. And that's the same as Instagram as well for commenting and private messages too.
Yeah, we do get asked how you can post on social media from Bitrix. You can't do that. You can't manage social media accounts. You can reply to messages, and as Andy says, I think there you can then save those messages as leads inside the CRM, but you can't create posts, create content on social media inside Bitrix. That's not what it does. Okay, is it possible to upgrade from cloud to on-premise license and keep all my data? It is. So you can. So Bitrix has two kind of main editions: a cloud product you pay on a monthly subscription, and a self-hosted version which you essentially pay annually for. In fact, you buy the license as a one-off lifetime license fee, and then you choose to buy updates every 12 months at a much reduced rate. So there's an investment in the beginning, and then quite a low rate, relatively speaking, per year after that. So you can move from one to the other. So if you're on the cloud, you can once you've got your self-hosted set up, and we can set it up for you. We can set it up for you on your own server. We can host it in our own data center. So your own server might be a machine in your office, data center in your company, or you might be renting web space. There's options around where you host it, and that's one of the big reasons why people choose self-hosted, want to know where their data is. But certainly once you've set that up, then we can request a backup of your data from Bitrix, and when we have that, we'll restore that to your self-hosted. It does take a little bit of time. You're probably looking at around a day, essentially, depending on the size of the amount of data you have, so how long you've been using it for, what you've been using it for. If it's quite big, then we've got to do the backup, and we've got to restore that to your new instance. So probably around a day to do that when you're going to be down, but it's perfectly possible to move it over. If you do that with a partner such as ourselves, it's not a charge. We don't charge for that. So if you buy a self-hosted license from us, we'll restore your cloud data to it for you. We can sometimes do it kind of out of hours as well, so we can start kind of mid-afternoon, and then get that work done out of hours in the evening, so you're not getting a full day's downtime. So contact us if that's what you want. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you're looking at doing, you'll certainly find there's a lot of advantages to going to the self-hosted product. Has additional features, many additional features, but one of the main reasons people choose it is because it's customizable. So if you can't do exactly what you want to do on the cloud, then you'll be able to do it on the self-hosted. It's open code, which means you can, well, firstly you've got a very large control panel area, which allows you to configure. I'll just show you very quickly. You've got a control panel area, so there's this admin bar across the top, which allows you to create pages and edit pages, so we can move things around on the page here. And in addition to that, you have a control panel, which allows you to configure how the front end works in a lot of detail. So we have all the different front end modules available to be configured in here. If you want to, if you can't configure it through a setting in the back end, then you can actually access the files, think in here, files and folders. So you can actually then drill down into the files and access the PHP files themselves, and you can edit it at the code level. If you've got that experience with PHP, guess you're also going to need experience with the Bitrix framework itself as well, but that's all available on the self-hosted. So there's a lot more you can do on that self-hosted product.
Yes, we've got a question come through. Can Bitrix24 create a new deal from a form filling all fields automatically? Yeah, so the CRM forms in Bitrix, the user you can create these forms. Let's just let that load first. And in the CRM, if we go to our CRM Form section here, then what you can do is you can create your own form which you can either access on a public page or you can access by embedding it onto your company's website. So to do that, just click on the blue button in the top right hand corner, click on Add New Form, and then we can say maybe Inquiry Form. And you mentioned about can the form fill all fields automatically. So so what will happen is on the right hand side you have access to all the fields within the deal. So you can see here we have all the fields, we can select them, and whilst we select them it starts to build the form on the left hand side here. So if you've got custom fields that you've created in the deal, you can have access to those on here. So we can see we're building this form out on here. And when this form is filled out and the user presses submit, then it will automatically populate the fields in the deal that you have included here. Now, because you want to create a deal, the important aspect of it is going to be that when you save the form data, you're going to create a deal here. And you can also choose what deal pipeline that you drop the deal into. So we have quite a few on this demonstration site, but if we wanted to drop it into ABC opportunities, and then we have the ability to choose if we want to merge with existing, if it recognizes the details already exist, you can merge, replace, or allow duplicates. If we click on the more, then there is then a few other options that you can choose from. So you can style it however you wish to fit in with your website, have a success message, and so on and so forth. Once you click on save, that will then save the form. And at the moment it will be grayed out here. You just need to click on enable, and then you have the form available to embed on your website. So if you click on embed code, just copy that to the clipboard and paste it onto your public website. You can have it as a form directly on the page. You can have a button that you click and it pops up, a text link that you click and it pops up, or you can have it popping up after a delay, for example, of 5 seconds. And then alternatively, if you didn't want to embed, you can open it up on a public page. So you can give this URL, and on an on-premise version, just another advantage of it is that you can brand this page up completely, so you can have a different background image. On the cloud version, you can have your own logo. As long as you've added your own logo to your cloud site, it will be there. But yeah, you can style these up on however you wish. So that hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, let's put our contact details up there for you if you want to get in touch with any questions, but also if you want to get in touch afterwards for a demo. We'll show you how Bitrix can work for you, how it can be the solution that you need it to be. If you contact us on any of those telephone numbers or email addresses, we can arrange a demo online or in your office. So we had a question, can I extract deal information from CRM to use in my external reports? You can. So if you go into, so we want deal information, we go into deals, then first thing you need to do is choose the fields that you want to export. Basically, the export function is up here. I can export to CSV or Excel, and it will export any columns that are visible here. So just look on this, arrow to the right hand side, you can see that we've got quite a lot, in fact a very large number of columns here visible, which we're probably not using, considering that most of the fields are empty. So if we click into the settings, we can choose to take out these columns so that they're not included in our export. So we're on a demo site here, so we create a lot of custom fields as we're demoing the software. Let's just take some of these out. And in fact, if you take these fields out that you're not using, don't need to see on that list view, then it will actually load a lot quicker. So still got a few over here that we're not using, we probably don't need to see, but essentially choose the columns that you want and then you can export it. It'll export and say every column that's visible.
I think just one thing to point out on that export, Damien's right with regards to if you do not select export all deal fields, then it will only export the column headers. If you click on that, export all deal fields, then it will do the full export and ignore the column headers here. One other thing to point out when you're exporting is that you can obviously create your filtered lists. So you can say, for example, we only wanted to see deals from a particular region. We could filter that list and then export that data. So it does export filtered lists in all of the different sections.
Yeah, so typically if I was a salesperson and want to export my deals for this month, I could put the date range in as well. Then I've got my filtered list, choose my columns, and then I can export it. But you might want, the question is, you want to export it so you can use it in external reports. Well, you can do reports inside Bitrix as well. There's a report builder tool up here, but if I go into click into reports here on this deals page, then I can view this data, again filtered, so you can do the filter at the top by the deals which your own deals, and then you can view that data in graphically on these pages.
Yeah, and further, as well as on those reporting abilities, because reporting in Bitrix is obviously quite important if you do have all your data in there. Bitrix has now introduced a CRM analytics function, and if you click onto sales, you can then report on your deals in here as well. The benefits of using the CRM analytics is that you can access every single field inside a deal. Whereas where we were before on the CRM report section is you don't have access to every field within a deal. And furthermore, in this section, you can actually create custom ranges. So if I wanted to draw a particular report from the 1st of November to the 7th of November, I could do so just by clicking in here and clicking in here. If I was in the deal report sections, you don't have the custom range option. You just have year, quarter, month. So this CRM analytics function is now quite a powerful tool to be able to pull your reports from.
Yeah. Can I filter deals by product? So you can't really do that. Let's just have a quick look at that. So if we go into a deal, then of course, like leads and like quotes, you can put products onto deals. Let's put a product on here. Imported product. No. So you can put a product onto deals, and it might be that you want to do a filter, and I can see why it's a bit of a common request. You want to do a filter by how many products you've sold or have opportunities for. How many deals have that product on? You can't actually do that, but you could. I guess if you've got, and we've done this, I think, if you've got a self-hosted version, then you can create custom reports, fully custom reports that would do things like that. I guess the only thing you can do is create a custom field. Let's create a field which is a list. Let's call it product, and let's call it ABC, and then maybe you could put in your product groups or something. and then you can choose which product category this deal is for, and I can filter by that now. So if I close this down, close that, and then I need to select, let's take some of these out. That's not a product. I don't know why that's in there. It's called product, but it's not. If I select this field I've created, called it, probably it. There we go. So when you create a custom field, you can use it in filters, and so I can now see all products, deals which are that product category. But
I think just to carry on from this point is that if you do want to create a report, reporting is actually available on products. So if I click on add report here, then I can click on product, and it will generate a report on the different criteria. I think we've got one in here. So we've got I don't know, product sales, for example. If I click into here, and then if I click into, let's just click into the one I've just created. Let's have a look. So if I click onto new report, you can see here how you can start building up all the products that are associated to a particular deal. It may be that if I go into edit this report, you can actually associate, so we've got the product name, price, quantity, and then we've got the deal name. So you can start building up filters on this, so you might only want to see particular products, so you can do that in here. But you can see if they are associated to a deal, the deal would show here. Now we do have quite a lot in here that are no longer used on this demonstration site, but if I click into one, we could see the deal name. And you can see the total value of sold, which would be really good if you want to create a report on a particular product, how many you've actually sold, and maybe you include the deal and the deal stage as one, and that would tell you then what products have been sold.
yeah, so there's always more than one way of doing everything you want, really. So then that's why you should work with a partner if you want to get the most out of Bitrix24. We'll help you understand the best way to do it, for best way to set it up for what you want to achieve.
Got a question, does Bitrix24 telephony work straight out of the box? And if so, can I record calls? So Bitrix telephony, yeah, it certainly does. So the easiest and quickest way to start using Bitrix telephony would be to rent a number from Bitrix. It's the most simple way of doing it. You click into rent number here, and then you can choose the country that you're from. We've done this a few times on these sessions. You choose a number. Some of them do require you to provide proof that you are located in that country, and they do require a monthly rental fee. So once you've set that up, you will obviously have your number for inbound and outbound calls, and based on that, then you can click into call details here at the top, and you'll be able to see all the calls that have been made, incoming and outgoing, and you can create a filter on that if you wanted to. So we could say all incoming calls, and we could say all incoming calls from maybe a particular employee. And then you can see that the calls record. So we have the recordings here, which we can download or we can play. And furthermore, if you go into a particular contact, you can actually see the recording of that call on the contact in the CRM as well. So straight out of the box, renting a number is the quickest and easiest way to do it. And then you will just have to top up the credit on the telephony account, and then you can start using it from that number. And the recording facility is standard, and you can view them in here and view them within the telephony section as well.
I bought an on-premise license, but I'm having trouble setting up the system. Is there something you can help me with? So yeah, I mean, when you buy on-premise, first thing you've got to do is install the software and check that it's running. correctly. So whether you need to check you have the right resources on the server to power Bitrix, and obviously you need to check things like the security levels settings as well. So you need to do that, and then there's quite a lot of things that work slightly differently, so you need to have some experience. So anyway, the answer is we can help you set it up. We have a support contract which will which will put you in touch with a dedicated person in our office, so you can ask any questions you need to them. And then in addition to that, we'd recommend you have some training with us, so 2 to 4 hours training really is a minimum on the self-hosted. We go through all the admin side of it, how you configure it. It's a bit different around how you can manage users and things. How you can manage permissions is a little bit different, a bit more advanced. So we go through all that. So we'd set it, we'd do the training on the basic stuff. We'd set the system up for you so it's working correctly. We'd do the training on the basic stuff, and then we'll work with you to scope out what it is you want to achieve, and we can then set those bits up for you as well. So yeah, of course we can do that for you.
I've got another question that came in through the week. Can the CRM check for duplicate contacts when I'm uploading this information into the CRM? So yeah, certainly. So the Bitrix system in the CRM does have duplication control in leads, in contacts, and in companies. So it doesn't have duplication control in deals. And you can see in here, if I click into the contacts, then click into the little gear icon in the right hand corner here, and you can see duplication control. If I click into there, you'll be able to see and find duplicates based on name, phone, and email. Now, we don't have too many contacts in this particular system. Maybe if we try in leads, again, you can do the same. And this is really good for doing a mass import. It gets rid of your duplicate data, so you've not got all the same in here. And you can see in the leads we have duplicates, and all we would need to do is open it up, and you can see that it's matched on a particular number. We would click on merge, and then that would merge it into both details into one lead. And that's how contact duplication works as well. So then we would click on merge, and then it would merge that particular one. I think this lead will be closed out, but yeah, you can see we have a few in here. So the only thing is, like we've been asked before, there's no duplication control in deals. So it's just leads, contacts, and companies.
Okay.
So please do put your questions in on YouTube if you do have any. We've only got a couple more remaining that came in through the week. These sessions are recorded, so if you did ask a question, send over a question to us in the week, and we've already covered it, you can always catch it back on the Bitrix24 YouTube channel. So please do get us those questions in through the week as well, because we will always answer them on each session.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to pause a task I was clocked into. Can I amend the time log to show the actual time I worked on the task? Let's have a quick look. So if we go into our tasks, if we open up one of these, then we can start the clock on a task, and as we can see here, it will record in real time as I work on this task. If we then finish that, we will see
We'll just need to refresh it.
We'll need to refresh the page. So I can see this time spent on the task, and you can actually edit it. So I could actually change that from 11 seconds to 5 seconds, and it will record. Just give you this indication that it's been amended. That's what that means there. I think that's a custom tab, isn't it? That we created for something else. But essentially, you can see at the bottom of the task, you can see comments. You can add your own comment into the task that everyone can see and reply to. You can see a full change history on the task, and you can see all time spent. So time that you've spent, you've clocked in. When you've clocked into a task, you'll see that recorded here. And you can also record time manually. So if I forgot to do it the day before, let's go back to previous day, and let's add, we can add a period of time as well in blocks like that as well.
Just to point out, I think I noticed when we were working earlier that the Facebook message came through. So you can see in here, I think we just got some settings set up on our system a little bit differently. But that's how you would just respond. You would get the message through from Facebook. Obviously, Facebook counts your response rate. So having your Facebook account connected to Bitrix, you'll never miss a message, and you will always get it in real time, so you can answer quickly. So it will improve your response rate. I think we've got a final question. Just got, what is the difference between a project manager and a moderator? So if we click into a work group, you're referring to project work groups. And if we click on here, and let's go into an existing project here. So we've got mega project, and I think it's actually, this is not a project group. So let me just double check. Let's just create one quickly. Private project, and this is project owner, and then we can have a project moderators. So the main difference is the permission levels that you can set. So if I click on create, I think we just need to set a subject. And then if I go into this particular project here, click on actions and click on access permissions, then you'll be able to see here how we can set permissions based on group owner and moderators, and then all group members. So that's the difference really. Group owner you can set as probably the priority and the main access permissions within a project, but each module within a work group itself can be set to specific permissions. So I think that's quite useful.
Yeah, okay, we don't have any more questions by the looks of it, so probably finish it there. If you subscribe to Bitrix24 and Interface on YouTube and click on the notifications bell, then you'll receive a notification when we go live, but it is the same time every week on a Thursday. So follow us on there, and if you want to join us for our webinars, which are on Monday, if you go to bitrix24.com and down to the bottom of the page, you can register for webinars there as well. Okay, hope to see you next time.